Welcome to Style Split 2. In this video, we'll be covering Victorian era arts and crafts, ukiyo-e, Art Nouveau, and the Vienna Secession. So we're going to start with piece 1, and this is clearly the Victorian era. We see chromolithography, that full range of color printing, and naturalistic renderings. They really wanted these butterflies to look like they did in real life. The next piece is clearly Art Nouveau. We have an exotic female. She's removed from contemporary time and place. Notice the curvilinear elements at the top, and the type is in French. All of these are clues. The font design also looks very, very Art Nouveau. This next piece is very tall and thin, is it not? It's also resembling a bit of a stained glass window with elongated figures and hand-drawn stylized type, telling us that we are looking at the Vienna Secession. And here's a detail again from the Vienna Secession and that hand-drawn stylized type. Often the type resembles the kind of type you might see in psychedelic posters like Haight-Ashbury. So when you see that, it's a good clue. Another exotic female telling us that we're looking at Art Nouveau. And this typography, it's so hand-drawn, it's curvilinear though. And it also really has that Art Nouveau vibe because of the curvilinear forms that we're seeing. Notice it's not so thick and chunky like the Vienna Secession. This doesn't look like psychedelic poster type. This typography is calligraphic. Clearly, it belongs with ukiyo-e. Where this typography really shows that historicism, we see the initial cap, and the lettering has that very strong medieval influence, thus arts and crafts. Here we see a number of fonts. Again, that curvilinear quality, particularly in the second font down, tells us we're looking at Art Nouveau. And we've got a classic Victorian image. It shows a woman in a corset, a man in a hat, strolling. It's clearly Victorian era. Now, this is a book. We can see that it's open. And Arts and Crafts was a private press movement of books. We also see the horror vacui, the crowding of the design elements in the field, and those stylized natural forms, the leaves and the flowers. Notice that inner part, how hand-drawn and stylized it is, but notice it's like very straight. It's not curvilinear. So this has got to be Vienna Secession. More Vienna Secession type. This one really does look like a psychedelic poster. And we notice that the format is in a zine that is 8 by 8. Just like your graphic design history journal, this has to be the Versacrum magazine. Okay, and we've got ephemera. We have that decorative full range of color. This is definitely Victorian era, as is this. So this packaging shows that decorative type, so popular in the Victorian time. And here the type is more curvilinear. And we've got a wonderful poster by Toulouse-Lautrec. This is Art Nouveau. And in this particular piece, we see those stylized natural forms, the leaves, the flowers, that initial cap. It's black and white. Many black and white pieces are going to be arts and crafts, or maybe just with a bit of red. When we see a Japanese theme such as this, and nature is shown as well as the calligraphy, it's got to be ukiyo-e. Another Japanese theme, ukiyo-e. Here the type is incredibly decorative, is it not? And it also says Baltimore. So we know that when something's in English, it's either going to be Victorian, right? Because Victorian or arts and crafts, it's going to be that case because the Victorian era was in the United States and England. And these beautiful stylized leaves are classic arts and crafts wallpaper. And we've got some posters now. They're tall and thin, but they don't look like a stained glass window. And in fact, they're showing exotic females removed from contemporary time and place. And the type has a curvilinear quality to it, all letting us know that we're looking at Art Nouveau. When we see chromolithography on tin packaging, things that you might collect at an antique mall, as well as that decorative type on them, it gives it away that it's Victorian. Another Victorian piece with that decorative type. Ukiyo-e, the Japanese theme. And again, Victorian. We've got the decorative type, we've got the ephemera that the type is on, and the English language. And here we've got a piece that is a children's book illustration. It's got to be Victorian. And another Victorian piece, sweetness, innocence, nostalgia. All of these things are elements of the Victorian era. Here the stylized natural forms are in a chair. It's got to be arts and crafts. A really comical illustration showing sweet little innocent children, a cat, and even the Victorian packaging that is in there gives us clues that it's Victorian. It's a book. We see that it's an open book. It's in black and white. It's got stylized plants and leaves and the medieval reference. It's got to be arts and crafts. Tall, thin compositions. This is going to be the Vienna Secession. Here we've got arts and crafts. Again, the stylization of the flowers, the leaves, and another arts and crafts piece. And here we see an ad for a corset. The type and the language all tell us it's Victorian, another Victorian, and another Victorian illustration. Arts and crafts. Here we see that historicism and that black and white with just a touch of red, the ukiyo-e Japanese theme, and the very, very decorative over-the-top type with lots of ephemera. This is Victorian. The stylized leaves, flowers, it's arts and crafts. And here this type, we see that it is hand-drawn. It's very, very stylized. It's quite beautiful. This is Vienna Secession. And an exotic female to end it up. It's got to be Art Nouveau. I hope you did well. Thanks for listening.